Welcome to the Front-End Development course on Web UI customization. This course presents the main concepts to develop UI components within Nuxeo Web UI, the default Nuxeo user interface. At the end of the course, you'll understand the configuration principles with a clear idea on how to add a new element to the interface and how to create a new document page. The first video introduces the Nuxeo Web UI structure, putting highlights on the way we use the Web Components and Polymer capabilities. Nuxeo Web UI is built upon a framework of web components. It allows Nuxeo platform developers to build their own front-end applications using these components. It was released with the LTS 2017 distribution based on Polymer 2. Nuxeo Web UI is made of Nuxeo Elements. Nuxeo Elements is a catalog of components, like the document previewer, and so on. Nuxeo Elements has 3 sets of libraries. Nuxeo Elements represents the core elements to interact with the Nuxeo repository for the connection, searches, operations, and so on. Nuxeo UI Elements gather all the interface elements used in the different layouts: the document previewer, date picker, user group permission tab, among others. Finally, Nuxeo DataViz Elements allows you to integrate reports as different charts and histograms, used, for example, to create custom dashboards. These elements are available and documented in the Web Components element catalog. We will explore these elements in detail later in the video. Following on the repositories you should be aware of when working on Web UI, there is also the Nuxeo Web UI repository itself, Nuxeo-Web-UI. Web UI intensively relies on Nuxeo-slot.html to be extended. An HTML slot element is a placeholder inside a web component that you can fill with your own markup, which lets you create separate DOM trees and present them together. Nuxeo slots are mechanisms which extend part of the Nuxeo Web UI. A couple of Nuxeo slots are hard-coded in the Web UI source code in order to insert your own HTML elements and extend the Web UI to meet your specific needs. The exhaustive list of Nuxeo slots is listed in the documentation site. If you need to extend or configure document type layouts, remember that each document type is composed of 5 different layouts. They are dynamically loaded on a name-based convention. Other elements aim at being extended as the translations, the user dashboard, the Web UI, theme, tasks, etc. If you need to understand the structure of a Nuxeo element, then you should search for it in the Web Component main repository. Let's explore, for example, the UI component used to display document suggestion, the Nuxeo directory suggestion element. As you can see, it belongs to the library of UI web components, Nuxeo UI Elements. All elements from the library are listed on the left side. You can preview the element with the Demo button. Let's check the element description. Using an element is as easy as copy and pasting the syntax provided in the demo. To understand its structure, let's take a look at the first lines. The Nuxeo directory suggestion is described by the Nuxeo.directorySuggestion class and extends the HTML element with some behaviors. A behavior can define lifecycle callbacks, declared properties, default attributes, observers, and event listeners. In other words, behaviors means that properties, listeners, methods, variables required for particular elements are becoming ready to use. In our case, the element contains the Nuxeo.i18n behavior, which provides an i18n helper function for translations. You can get more information by checking the code. The Nuxeo suggestion element declares a set of properties. It corresponds to the value displayed in orange in the sample code. Basically, it allows you to configure the element to use the right information, the list of subjects stored in the Nuxeo server in this case. You can declare properties on your custom element by adding them to the properties object on your prototype. The properties object can be used to specify the property type, the default value, the property change observer, which calls a method whenever the property value changes, read-only status, etc. As you can notice, the value property is set to notify true, meaning an event is fired whenever the property value changes. In our case, the value changed event. You can fire a couple of events from your extension's contributions in order to tell the Web UI to perform some actions. The complete list of events is described in the documentation page. In the next video, we will explain to you how to develop and package your configuration. Thanks for watching.